Warning: the following presentation will discuss sensitive topics such as gun control and gore, and will also be displaying graphic images. Stay cautious and please proceed at your own discretion and/or risk. These gritty, hard-hitting words are those that come from hit song Thoughts and Prayers, a composition produced with overpowering guitars and bass-boosted drums, contrasted with a soft, chilling chorus sung by children who are afraid of what may come. With these words, the song hopes to speak to what others were too scared to say. Before delving into the analysis of the song, it's key to establish the context behind its creation in the first place. Thoughts and Prayers was produced following one of the worst mass shootings in recent U.S. history, which has since been dubbed as the Parkland Shooting Massacre. The attack took place on the 18th of February 2018, when a 19-year-old gunman infiltrated the South Florida campus and took the lives of 17 students, as well as staff members. By that evening, news of the tragedy was reported on every major news outlet in North America, and soon began to receive global attention, as many hoped this would act as the symbolic final straw that would finally push America towards gun reform. As a whole, the impact of this tragedy was felt well beyond just the country, and was marked by a particular fury felt from survivors and allies alike, who all over the world took up arms against lawmakers who had once again made no effort to actually attempt to prevent another potential tragedy by way of gun control. Thoughts and Prayers, following the infamous shooting, was created in order to raise awareness and tackle the ever-rising issue of gun violence witnessed in the United States, as well as to take issue with the clear inaction shown by politicians and Congress members to combat the issue. Additionally, the song was created with the intention to elevate the voices of survivors and make sure their message was projected and heard by the public, as well as lawmakers. Lyrics such as "Another press conference where nothing gets accomplished, watch history repeat," references the age-old actions conducted by higher-ups following a tragedy, as they will offer nothing but hollow words in a place of concrete effort to actually address any issues. Thus, this would implicate them all as accomplices in allowing these horrid acts to continue. Finally, this song must be considered a call to action, as it hopes that by calling out these grave injustices, individuals would finally rise above and look to turn things around, in order to force action out of the establishment to prevent yet another tragedy. The song itself was written and produced by American-Canadian singer Jordan Edward Benjamin, who predominantly goes by the name Grandson. In the music industry, he is best known for putting out politically charged, hard-hitting rock music that challenges the establishment and their usual status quo. Though these songs have brought him negative attention in the past, he has stood his ground and fought to have his voice heard by the youth of our time. In the past, Grandson has achieved great success with his smash hit singles, such as Bloodwater, which was featured on #1 hit show Riverdale, as well as Kiss Bang and 6 O'Clock, which have all reached notable heights on the charts. Though, the one song that stands out amongst his typical discography is the one that I have chosen to cover today. As a whole, it is quite clear that his thoughts and overall perspective aligns with that of pro-gun control beliefs. The intent was to shine light on the evident inaction undergone by politicians in terms of gun control, and to inspire further action and awareness through his song and lyrical composition, especially when it comes to this song in particular. He strives to get his messages across and to inspire social change wherever he can. Additionally, he has been rather successful in these aims to spark social change and spur active action. This song in particular became a backtrack to the messages and call to action that was the Parkland protests, and has since become a pseudo-anthem backing the pro-gun control movement. Overall, the track achieved what it originally set out to accomplish, and has ingrained itself in an ever-important legacy of striving to make positive change. To continue, the song and its consequent subject matter can also be tied back to previous social concepts we have covered in this course, such as deviant behavior witnessed on a societal scale, as well as the notion of conformity versus alienation. To begin, deviancy is considered as engagement in actions or behaviors that contradict usual society norms and conventions. The severity of these contradicting actions and or behaviors can range from quite mild in nature to potentially volatile and incredibly dangerous. In this case, the topic being covered in my song of choice, and subsequently my social issue, is clearly gun violence. In terms of where it ranges on the societal spectrum, gun violence is marked as aggressively deviant behavior, as it goes against all acceptable social convention by counteracting it with horrible violent actions being committed against others. As such, gun violence falls on the far end of what can be marked as deviancy in society. Additionally, thoughts and prayers can also be correlated to the concept of alienation versus conformity in a large number of ways. Just to specify, the song covers the continuous inaction taking place when it comes to the topic of gun control, and also subconsciously touches on the idea of conformity. Defined as the compliance of usual standards and expectations, when higher-ups continue to partake in their purposeful negligence and choose to go along with the majority's belief centering around what should be done in terms of gun reform, they partake in a rather overt form of conformity. On the other hand, by attempting to draw attention to conformity and subsequently trying to push back against it, the minority/the few, this would be the victims, supporters, and allies, then undergo a sense of alienation, known as disengaging and estranging individuals from society and their continued agenda. This comes about when they try to go against the established system of society and fight back against the conformity of the higher-ups, which isolates them as an advocating minority. And to cap off, this song also establishes deep ties to Marxist conflict theory for a number of reasons. The main focus of this song, as stated numerously, is to call attention to the inaction and exploitation of politicians, who would be considered to be a part of the bourgeoisie in terms of this analysis, and the higher-ups of this establishment when it comes to the overall topic of gun control and the power they hold over the debate of potential reform. This type of call-out, in turn, was intended to spur those being actively abused by the higher-ups, in terms of this analysis, again, the proletariat class, to end this inaction and push back against their negligence as they come to achieve awareness of the manipulation they are experiencing, which is, in terms of this, again, the phenomenon known as class consciousness. To summarize, the following actively follows the structure of conflict theory, making the comparison very simple to make. Now, what can be done about this exploitation will have to be seen, but I am assured by the knowledge that there will come a moment where things will be forced to shift, in order to make a safer, more secure environment for all of America to come. Thank you for your attention.